Piarco Airport Souvenir for your local dolls, t-shirts and all your gift items. Conveniently located at Piarco International Airport Atrium. Opening hours 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. 669-0325, 669-0592. Now open SM Drugs for all your women personal products, non-prescription drugs. Located at Piarco International Airport Atrium. Opening hours 5 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Loving Sairams, Sitaram, Assalamu Alaikum, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Sai World. This is a program designed to awaken divinity inherent in man through practicing our 5 fundamental human values: love, peace, truth, right action, and non-violence, as embodied by the avatar of our age, Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. This week, once again, we have the presence of the president of the Satya Sai International Organization of Trinidad and Tobago, Brother Terry Maharaj, and the deputy central coordinator of the West Indies for the Satya Sai International Organization, Brother Faiz Muhammad. Sairam, welcome once again. Thank you for joining me.
Sairam, Sister Shivani.
Very happy to be here.
All right, so last week we were speaking about the life and the teachings of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. We touched on his avatarhood, his advent, his avatarhood, and some of the things he would have done during his life. And as Brother Faiz told us, that Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba came into being in 1926, but he lived on earth until 2011. All right, so what has been happening since 2011 till now?
Well, basically, he lived on the face of the earth. He embodied himself for a period of 86 years. He's always told us in many of his discourses that I am not this body. It is just a vehicle through which he interacts with humanity. So he always used to remind us that I am the supreme divine consciousness, using the physical body to interact with humanity and to build relationships. So when the physical form was no longer there, as with any other physical body, once that body takes birth, it will have to die. But he is the supreme divine consciousness that is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. And he says that resides in each and every heart. That is why he said, I am God, but you are God also. Now, when the passing of the physical form happened, there was a transition with members of the organization, and devotees took it in different ways. But since that has happened, the organization continues to function throughout the world with different leaders. For example, right now we have an international chairperson by the name of Dr. Reddy, who is really the head of the organization. And then in all the different countries and zones, you have coordinating committees, central coordinators, zonal coordinators. So there's a structure in place that allows the activities, the mission, and the purpose of the Satya Sai Baba organization to continue to unfold.
Well, you made a very good point in introducing the idea of the organization. My question is, how has the organization been formed?
Well, this is the only organization in the world that has been formed by God himself while he was physically present on the face of the earth. So he lended his name to the organization, and that is why members of the organization feel privileged to be a part of this very wonderful, service-loving organization. And from that perspective, the organization came into existence. But we should remind ourselves that the main purpose of the organization is to awaken the inherent divinity within. And so the organization has basically taken root throughout the length and breadth of the globe, over 2,000 Sai Baba centers in 125 countries, with thousands more in almost every village throughout India.
Well, you are the Deputy Central Coordinator of the West Indies, but we have with us the President of the organization here in Trinidad and Tobago. What can you tell me about the formation and the running of the organization here in Trinidad?
I must say, Shivani, it's a very structured way of running. Our organization is governed by the Central Council of Trinidad and Tobago, where we create policies and plans to continue the service and programs of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Since the passing of the physical body, as Brother Fai said, there were some people who would have think differently and had their own feelings and whatnot. But I must say, within recent times, we have seen a heavy upsurge in the organization, where even a lot of people are more interested. There are more service activities, there are more functions, right? All bringing the awareness of Sai, right? So many different activities that people now are seeing different avenues to do service, to fellow worship God in different ways. And I think we are seeing the true teachings of Sai really unfolding after the leaving of his body.
Well, speaking of the teachings of Sai, Brother Faiz mentioned previously that it is in the education system, that there are various ECCE schools and whatnot. What can you tell me about the education system with respect to Sai?
Okay, with the education system, I must say, and I'm very proud and happy to say, that we are the first denominational organization, right? Sorry, the first organization that have gotten denominational status. Every organization or school, the denominational board would have been either a Hindu board, a Catholic board, Christian, We are not a religious body, we are a spiritual body. And we have started with the ECCs, and for a very profound reason. And the reason being that when we had did our research, we was made to understand that between the ages of 0 to 6 of a human being, 90% of your brain develop between that age. However long you live, only 10% could develop after that, right? So we thought that if we have these young children at that age and infuse values in them, right, let them understand that all religion are one. I think part of the problem in our country and the world by extension is a lack of tolerance. People always fight, my religion is better than yours, my school is better than yours. And what we teach these children is that all religion are equal, right? We must be able to understand each other's religion so that whenever the occasion comes up, we could be able to converse very, very passionately about each other's religion, right? For example, at our school, it is compulsory that we start every day with a Hindu prayer, a Muslim prayer, a Christian prayer, and a Buddhist prayer. Because when you put these things in these children's mind at this age, they will no longer make fun of other people's religion, but rather they will embrace it.
They will understand.
And they will understand and say, at school we were taught this, right? And they will continue to remember that.
But is it only ECCE, or is there a primary school?
We also, yes, we have a primary school too, right? Which is our schools are scattered throughout the country.
Okay.
For example, we have 4 ECC. One is at Tagariqua, one is at Londonville, one is at Rio Claro, and one is at Miaro, and we are hoping pretty soon to open one at Pinal DB, right? Our primary school is at Londonville Chaguanas, right, where we are very happy to say that our schools also, with the values, the parents are very impressed with what they're seeing that the children are being taught, right? Because as I said, we speak about universality throughout the school. Wherever something happens, for example, a child may push another child, right? We try to bring in one of the values right there and say, okay, you are not practicing love, right? A child may not have something, and if one doesn't want to give him, we say you are not practicing sharing, right? And these kind of things, we always, whatever scenario happens, we try to bring in one of the values so the child could understand it, both practical and theoretical.
I think in addition to what Brother Terry has said, I think that school at the Sai Nilam, we started with one child. Now it has grown to become so popular that we have a waiting list up to 2021. And I think what is important to us, such as Sai Baba said, and Terry did highlight that, is that the character education deals with educare. Educare means bringing out that which is latent in the child. So those 5 values that you have highlighted are already within the student. And so what they do with the teaching, the infrastructure and environment is to provide the necessary wherewithal to bring out the values in the children. And as our president so wonderfully highlighted, things like kindness and sharing and unity and helping one another is part of those values that blossom forth in human excellence when the child is given the right environment and teaching.
Well, as Brother Faiz said, bringing out these values and learning to share and whatnot, I would like to transpose that into service. I know this is a service organization. You all are involved in a lot of service activities. What can you tell me about some of the activities that the Trinidad and Tobago Sai organization has been involved in?
Yes, and you're very correct, Shivani, that our organization is very, very big on service, because Sai Baba said service to man is service to God. Hands that help are holier than lips that pray, right? So, you know, is that we have done a lot of service. For example, we can talk about the house building, right, where every Sunday, right, we will provide a complete house for a needy family, totally free of charge, basically in 3 hours time, right? When you reach here on a Sunday morning, all you may see is just the pillars of the house, and in 3 hours time you can see a complete house, painted, furnished, groceries and a service. In fact, some people even make the comment that they will leave to go in the market and there's nothing, and by the time they reach back from the market there's a complete house structured there, right? It is what we also portraying at home is that when we hand it over to the recipient, we'll do a little service, right, where we'll sing a hymn, a qasida, a bhajan, right, and we'll do a little inspirational talk to the recipient, and after that there are no strings attached. We do not look back, right, we just move on to another aspect.
These house building activities, though, just before you continue, this is done on a need basis,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
individuals will approach, or you approach the individuals. How does it work?
What happened, there's a committee that sometimes someone will let us know this may be a needy person.
Okay.
What we are told is that we do not expose who we are, right? But we'll visit that family, maybe with a hamper, grocery hamper, right? As though we come in to give them the hamper, and then we'll have a conversation with them.
That's the situation.
That's right.
Okay.
And if it is a needy case, one of the main criteria, the land must be freehold, right? Or you have some kind of entitlement to it. So we do not want to break the law by encouraging squatting or this kind of thing. And I know there are many more, for example, like the feeding. Faiz, you can give a little.
Yeah, I just want to add on to what Brother Terry said too about the house building. I think what we also do is that these buildings, it can withstand hurricane winds of 125 miles an hour. And as Baba himself said, it's not so much the construction of the houses, the walls are really infused with love, with spiritual energy, because the people that come together are primarily young adults from the organization.
Voluntary.
And it's voluntary. And they specialize, Shivani, in different aspects of the building. Some are good on the roof, some on the windows, some on the ground. I do a little painting, but I have no experience in it. I just join wherever is necessary. But the most important thing is the collective energy of these individuals with this labor of love putting up the structure. It's infused in the walls of the structure. You find, so transformation takes place in the lives of so many people. And then there are many non-devotees, non-members of the organization who have come. We've had Miss Universe, Wendy Fitzwilliam, come on more than one occasion and paint the walls. We've had people from the village where the house is being built. They are encouraged to come. People from the business people, doctors, lawyers, attorneys, all come and take part in this wonderful, selfless service. In relation now, as Brother Terry is highlighting the feeding the homeless. This was a project that was started right here in Port of Spain at the Port of Spain Sai Center in November 2016. And this group of devotees, to commemorate and celebrate Swami's birthday from the 16th to the 23rd, they decided to cook some meals and distribute it to the needy and the hungry. But they were so inspired and joyful by the end of that birthday celebration. They decided to go on. And now it has gone over 650 days, consecutive nights.
Wow.
Whether it's storm, whether it's holiday, whether it's Christmas.
And this is being done completely voluntary.
Absolutely. And the great thing is that the synergy that exists, they come and they prepare, they cut up the vegetables, they make the meals. And then we go in some of the most drug-infested, violent areas in Port of Spain, George Street, Abercrombie Street, and others. And they go and lovingly hand-deliver this food to those who are poor and hungry and homeless.
But this is only in Port of Spain, or is this done throughout Trinidad?
It is Port of Spain started it, and then from there it branched out to Shagwanas, our headquarters. It's also been done at San Fernando, right, and also at Rio Claro. So it has been spread throughout the country, right. But the ironic thing about this is that just as much as the person who is receiving is very happy, we who also are serving is just as grateful and happy also. Because we are learning a lot. When you go to these people and see what a hungry person is lying on the pavement, rain is wetting him or her, and they have nothing to eat. And when you give them that box of food and see that joy in their face, words is really short to express that.
Well, I can understand the concept of love being shown in terms of building the homes and feeding the needy. But what are some of the other activities of the organization in Trinidad?
Well, as I said, the house building, right, the cooking of the food. And just one point to continue with the homeless feeding is that also when we finish do the cooking, we hold hands together and we'll recite the Hindu prayer, the Christian prayer, the Muslim prayer, and the Buddhist prayer. So again, it's all showing the universality, that is there. And also when we infuse that love and energy into the food and take it to a person, they also receive that love and energy also. But some of the major services that we does is we also once a year for about the past 25 years, right, Brother Miles?
Yes.
That we have been taking the visually impaired to the beach in Miaru, right? And what we does, like about 150 visually impaired people, we'll provide everything from transportation to get them to the site. Right, we'll have volunteers there to make sure we designate somebody to a visually impaired person so that they will chaperone and take care of that visually impaired. We'll have a nice cultural program where they will do, because these visually impaired people are very talented also, right? And then we'll have a cultural program, then we'll rope off a certain area in the ocean, right? And take them to have a bath. Right, and after that, then we come back, we'll give them gifts, serve a meal, right? And in fact, when they are leaving on that day, they will ask us what day it is next year that we are doing it. Because many of them say that that's the only time they get to visit the beach.
Okay.
Right, So that is something too that, is very significant on our calendar. Right.
In terms of, you can see what the weather is like these days. There's a lot of flooding. Last year we had a huge flooding issue in Trinidad and Tobago. Has the Sai organization been instrumental in doing anything on that?
Yes, the organization was very, very instrumental, very active. In fact, when we had that major flooding, our central kitchen were cooking 1,500 meals per day to share to wherever the disaster were taking place, right? We were all over. We give mattresses, we give toiletries, we went and we cleaned people's homes, we gave the detergents that sanitize and everything. So we were very, very active in different areas. We had different pockets of people who were coming together to do this service, right? And we had go even beyond Trinidad, right? Because when Dominica had their natural disaster, right, we were there, right? We went across. First, we sent 3 containers of dry goods, right, to Dominica. And our own people also, they went over there, right, to serve with their own hands, right, to these people. And then for the carnival weekend, we took 102 of us, went to Dominica, and we built 19 homes in 3 days.
Wow.
And everybody who went there, it was total voluntary.
I think in addition to what Brother Terry said, but coming back to the feeding, something that happened was that non-members of the organization started to get involved. For example, we had people would come off the street, doctors, lawyers, and even organizations like, for example, Blue Waters donated hundreds of cases of water. The Fat Boy coconut water was donated. Mario's gave us vegetarian meals in order to feed the homeless. And then, in addition to that, we partnered with Mario's, where they wanted to celebrate an anniversary that they were having. They were so inspired by what was taking place in the kitchen that they sponsored a slice of pizza, a slice of service to every needy or hungry person in the country. And we partnered with them and went throughout the length and breadth of the country distributing this pizza of love.
How long did that take?
Well, in the 4 regions, it took a period of, I think it was being done different days, different,
Yes.
but they were so inspired, So many other corporate people in the country, together with others. For example, Wendy Fitzwilliam would come with her son every single Tuesday and other days. Dwayne Bravo, the cricketer, brought his team. And so many others are taking part, and they're inspired now that we need to fix Trinidad and Tobago. It is our country. And so everybody with that same like-mindedness is coming on board and really being inspired to do the work.
Well, that's really nice. You get people of all different walks of life involved and whatnot. And it brings me back to the point where we spoke about the different religions coming together in unity. So tell me more about the spiritual side of the organization.
Well, as we said, it is a spiritual organization, right, where we encompass all faiths, all people, right? Our satsang, our service, is conducted at when we have singing, we will sing songs of all the major religions, right? So that whoever come will feel comfortable. If you look at the logo, the Sarmadar might have all the prominent faiths, right? And we respect that, right? Our message will be given based on sometimes the occasion. So for example, if it's Christmas, our satsang will be mostly hymns and carols, right? And we'll do a message on the life of Jesus the Christ. If it's Islam, it does the same thing, Diwali and whatever. So the whole idea is that when somebody come to our Sai Center, they must feel comfortable, they must feel connected, they must feel like, listen, yes, we are all one. No matter we may speak in different languages or worship in different ways. But here it is, we are seeing a place of worship where everybody can come together and worship in unity. And I think I keep saying this is our main focus, and the problem in our country is that tolerance level is very low, right? Because everybody seems to say mine is the best. When Sai Baba say there's only one, right? We are connected in one way, right? The soul, we are connected by the soul. So if we treat everybody as a sister or a brother, right, and demonstrate that love towards them, right? Let them feel comfortable, let them feel happy, let them feel they are part of something, right, that is worthwhile. And this is the spiritual aspect of it,
So if I wanted to get more information on the Sri Satya Sai organization in Trinidad, where can I go? Is there a website? Is there a Facebook page? What can I do to get more information?
Well, you can get information on our website, which is saicaribbean.org. saicaribbean.org will give you a lot of information on the organization and its activities. But in addition to what Brother Terry said, I feel I must add on as well, as he was talking about the universality. We've had a situation where a church in Barakpur requested the Satya Sai Baba organization to come and conduct a period of devotion. We've had the Baptist Shrine in St. James invite the Satya Sai Baba organization to come and do a period of devotion with them, because they have the understanding and awareness that this is not religious, it's spiritual, because it's based on those 5 fundamental values. When we celebrate Eid, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Guru Purnima. Sometimes an imam will come from the mosque and share a talk. A minister from the church will come. Then we have interfaith meetings where we will choose a particular topic. For example, service to man is service to God. And the Muslim will come and give his perspective from the Quran. The Christian will come and give his perspective from the Bible. The Hindu will come and give it from the Hindu scriptures. But what it does, it causes, as Brother Terry said, it causes tolerance of all our beliefs and respect towards others. And when we come together, we realize, but hey, we talk in the same language. Because Jesus talked about love and service. The Holy Prophet Muhammad was an embodiment of it. Rama and Krishna talked about it. So hey, let's all come together and make this country a better place.
Well, thank you so much, Brother Faiz, and thank you so much, Brother Terry Maharaj, for joining us. This has been another edition of Sai World, and thank you for joining us. You can join us next Tuesday for another edition. Jai Sai Ram.